Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mina and welcome to day number 6 of the Winterween Readathon. This is probably going to be the last day that I'm daily vlogging for this readathon. I'm hoping to finish my last read completely today. If I don't, I will continue and read it tomorrow. I just won't be vlogging. I did the same thing last time during Summerween. I almost forgot what it was called, but I basically only vlogged the first 6 days and didn't vlog the last day. I'm just like losing steam when it comes to the daily vlogging. And also, like I said, if I do finish my final read today, then I don't really have anything to vlog for you guys tomorrow. So this is going to be it. This is my last vlog. And I am kind of sad to see that the readathon is over. It was a really enjoyable week, and I think it was a pretty productive week for me in terms of my reading. I normally start off my year slow when it comes to my reading. I'm pretty sure last year I read 0 books in January. I was like getting ready for my wedding that was happening the next month. So I was all over the place. I barely did any reading at the beginning of 2020. So I'm really happy and pleased with myself because I definitely have read more at the beginning of this year than I have in previous years, which is a great thing. I also wanted to apologize again for yesterday's abrupt ending with the vlog. I came home from my parents a little bit later. I think it was like 9:30 or so, and I had a really bad headache that wouldn't go away until I fell asleep. So I was kind of just like laying in bed, like doing nothing, like just talking to my husband. And then I was like, oh my God, I didn't even finish the last clip of my vlog. I didn't update them. So I do apologize. It kind of just like slipped away from me. And as I mentioned yesterday, I didn't get too much into Primitive. I only read like the first 25 pages of that novella, and there's about 50 pages left. So I am going to finish that up today, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts on the second novella in this book. I did want to talk to you a little bit about my initial thoughts the first 25 pages into Primitive. As I mentioned before, this is the story about a group of guys. They're like adult men, and they were friends, I think, in high school. So they're kind of like coming back together, reuniting, catching up with each other, and going on a weekend camping trip away from their families, their wives, their jobs. They're leaving all that stuff behind for the weekend. And the synopsis tells us that a creepy woman comes out of the woods and she's looking for her son, and they all try to make it off of the mountain alive. So that's like the premise. I haven't gotten to that creepy woman part yet. So far, it's just like setting us up with the characters. There's 4 men in the group, and we learn a little bit about their lives, their backstories, and now they are there at the campsite and they're telling each other these creepy ghost stories, devilish stories, satanic stories, anything like spooky. So I listened to that, and I am like enjoying the concept of this story. And I don't know if it's just because I haven't been watching a lot of like horror movies lately, even though I love horror movies, and I haven't seen any like gritty B-movie style films in a while, but I forgot like how explicit and like sexual these films, and I guess now these stories are. They literally focus on that stuff like a lot. So again, I am warning you guys, if you are picking this book up, just be warned that that is something that is discussed in detail sometimes. So that's that. I also think that because it's a group of 4 men without their wives, without any women present, their conversation is completely different than the conversations that I would have with my friends. And, you know, I'm not used to like the discussion of 4 adult male friends. So maybe it's just because like I'm not part of that group that I'm like, do guys really like talk about these things all the time? So I don't know. But like I said, I am enjoying the setting. I am enjoying the setup of the characters, and I'm hoping that it gets creepy soon with that woman who comes out of the woods. So we shall see. Plans for today are a little bit, I'm unsure a little bit. I might be going back to my parents' house for a little bit later because my sister wants us to go to this outdoor cafe, Igloo kind of place. She made like a reservation, so I think I'm gonna go with them to that just to check it out, even though it's like freezing outside, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's like the tentative plans. I'm just going to be staying in my house for the rest of the day, hopefully finishing up this book, and I will check in with you guys later. I'm gonna make myself some breakfast, get started with my chores and my tasks, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Made some potatoes and eggs for breakfast, so I'm gonna eat that. Hello you guys, it is now a little bit later in the day, it's about 4 p.m. and I am on my way, well not on my way, I just parked outside my parents' house. I decided to join them for the little like igloo experience that they're going to today. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I did get some reading done. I'm still not done with Primitive, but I have, let's see, I think I have like 25 pages left of it, so I'm almost done. Let me just tell you, this is some crazy horror shit going on in these novellas. So we finally got up to the moments where, or the moment where the woman comes out of the woods and she's like all disheveled and dirty and it looks like she's been living there forever. And this might be considered a spoiler, so if you don't want to know anything about this story, just skip ahead. But I kind of want to give you guys the premise or the backstory about who this woman is. Basically, she was not able to have children in her life, and so she made a pact with, I guess it's the devil or like a demon or something, and she ended up having a baby, but a werewolf baby. So that is kind of like what this story is about. It's about them stumbling upon this woman who is trying to kill her werewolf son because he is killing people and wreaking havoc, and she just wants to get rid of him once and for all and like save humanity, I guess. So it's a werewolf story, and it's kind of dark the way that they were describing her like pact with the devil and like what happened to her. And there was a really gruesome description of something, I'm not gonna say what it was, but that I just read in the past like couple pages. So yes, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely not what I expected. I was kind of hoping for it to be more of a slasher camp type story, but it turned out to be more monster creature horror, which is okay. And I don't know, I will probably finish it either at my parents' while I'm there or when I get home later. So I will update you guys when I'm completely done with the second story and give you my final thoughts on that. And then I might just save the last story, which is called The Vessel, for tomorrow. Even though I'm not going to vlog it, I might just save it and read it tomorrow. So I will see you guys a little bit later. I might take you with us when we go to the Igloo Cafe thing. Okay. You guys, it is now the next day and this is the end of my Winterween reading vlogs. I did end up finishing the second story in Horrorama, which was Primitive, so I do want to talk to you guys about my final thoughts on that story. And like I said yesterday, I'm going to save The last story, The Vessel, I'm going to read it today, but I won't be vlogging my experience reading that. So just make sure you follow me along on Instagram, because that is where I share most of my book reviews. If I'm not talking about them on BookTube, then I'm definitely talking about them on my Instagram stories or in my posts. So make sure that you guys are following along. It is the same handle as my YouTube channel name, which is book__Skywalker. So follow me along there for more bookish content. But I did want to talk to you guys about Primitive, because I did end up really enjoying how this story turned out and how it ended. It had like a very nice cycle, I guess you could say. Like everything kind of rounded back out together towards the end, so I was really pleased with that. I also really liked that this story was dealing with another facet aside from the horror elements, and that is our main character's identity and him, I wouldn't really say struggling, but kind of keeping things secret about his identity. And I'm not going to go into details about it because, again, it's such a short story and I don't really want to spoil everything that's going on in here, but just note that this story has more facets to it than just the creature feature type entertainment that you see like on the surface. So I really did enjoy that about it, and I liked how we started off with one of the men's scary stories at the campfire, and towards the end things kind of took a turn back to that story, if that makes sense. Again, I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but there was a nice like cycle to this. It felt very rounded, it felt very complete, and that's something that I admire really about this story, because I'm not one to read a lot of short stories and novellas, and one of my reasons, I guess, for doing that is because I always feel like those stories are either, you know, incomplete and I'm always like wanting more, or I feel like in some way they lack the same type of conflict and plot and character development as a fuller novel. And I know that's not true for every short story, but I just have found in my experience, the little amount of short stories that I have read, I always find myself like wanting more information. And I felt like with this story, we got everything that we needed from the characters, from their motivations, and like I said, everything was tied up nicely in the end and kind of fit the beginning of the story, if that makes sense. I'm sorry that my thoughts are not as articulate as I want them to be, but just know that I'm trying not to spoil anything because I want this to be as spoiler-free as possible. But I do recommend that you pick up this book anyway, in case you are a really big horror fan. The first story wasn't my favorite. I would probably rate that like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then the second story, Primitive, I would probably rate it about a 4 out of 5 stars. It's definitely not a perfect read for me, and this isn't like a medium of literature that I normally pick up, but for a novella, Primitive was pretty interesting to me and pretty well done, so I did like that. And I did like the author's writing. I felt like he had some really great descriptions in there, and his imagery and like the visceral imagery, especially for horror, was very vivid and very strong, so that's something that I appreciated as well. The last story, I don't know how that's gonna go. It's a cult story, which I don't particularly enjoy, but I'm still gonna read it anyway because I do want to finish this, and I will be posting my thoughts probably on my Instagram. So that is it. That's it for this Winterween Readathon. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me this week. It was very, very fun for me to daily vlog. I really do enjoy it. It's very stressful and time consuming, and it's kind of nerve-wracking because you have to sort of like film and edit your videos at the same time in the same day so that you could upload the next day. So it's not an easy process at all, but I do enjoy doing it from time to time. So I'm really hoping that Gabby and Olivia do decide to do like a spring-oween and a fall-oween readathon as well, because I will definitely participate. And that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I hope you guys have been enjoying, and you know, thank you for coming along with me on this journey, and please do let me know down in the comments what types of videos you are interested in seeing in this new year. I do want to do some more reading vlogs, particularly with some of the Star Wars books that I'm planning on reading. I did just get the original Star Wars trilogy novelization, the 3 of them, and I was thinking of doing like a reading vlog for each of those novelizations, and then kind of comparing my thoughts between the novelization and the film, like watching the film again and then also reading the novelization. So I think I'm going to do that soon. I also have a couple of other books on my TBR, so you will probably see me doing reading vlogs or book reviews, things like that. And also stay tuned for a bookshelf tour. I definitely want to film this in this new year. I just did my bookshelf reorganization, and I would love to go through my shelves and kind of show you guys what I have in my collection. So that should be coming soon as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day today. I will see you all very soon. Bye guys.